honey, welcome back. So I've been playing around with makeup and I decided I would go ahead and film this look that I'm gonna do. I don't know exactly the look I'm going to do, but I am going to use the Lightwork Volume 6 Freedom palette from Danessa Myricks. So I still have everything in the same configuration as they originally, the brand, put it together. So I'm not going to move anything around or take anything out. Just going to go ahead and use the shades. While I do that, this is going to be a quick video, maybe. I'm going to tell you about my expedition to getting the Dolly Parton Chardonnay. Okay, so I am going to talk about wine in this video in case that is something that makes you uncomfortable. I'm just going to tell you about going to get the Dolly Parton wine, and I might take a sip of it because I have it right here and I'm a little parched. But just want to give you a heads up because talking about or seeing alcohol is not a very comfortable thing for everyone. So come on back to another video because I'm going to be doing more and more looks throughout the week, the months, the years. Okay, so I am going to start with, this time I'm going to use a like tacky glitter primer, glitter shadow primer. When I did the first video with like swatches and things like that, I used the Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. I think that's the one I used as a primer for my eyes. So that those formulas are like dry and matte, but given that these are like duochromes, multichromes, blah, 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 I figured that I want to see how they perform on like a sticky base that kind of like grabs them, you know? Now, the thing with this palette is that they did kind of promote that you can use your fingers to apply the shades, and you could use a brush if you wanted to. So I've used my finger, and I think I used my finger in the previous video, but I'll probably use brushes. We'll kind of see. I do find that you can use either one with these shades. So I'm going to go in with the Specular Sparkle and Shimmer Glue Base from Divina. I find that despite them being like duo and whatever mini chrome, the brush does work to put them on. Sometimes I feel like other duochromes and stuff that I've used, sometimes I think they just have more impact when you use your finger, but I don't know that I've noticed any significant difference. Like it doesn't seem like it's less saturated or less opaque with a brush as opposed to a finger. I'm putting this primer on with a finger just because it is sticky. I like to use both. Sometimes I like to use my finger. Sometimes I like to use a brush, or I use both. So yeah, this is definitely sticky. Not sure if you've tried this. I feel like this is stickier than the NYX, what is it called? NYX Glitter Base or Glitter Primer. Okay, so let's see. I will start with, oh, just dropped a brush. Guess we won't use that one. I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks in my Kitco collab brush. This is the My Yummy Applicator, the flat one. It is number 26. And I'm going to use the shade Rise right here. And it is one of the duochrome crushed sparklers. And let me tell you how I ended up getting this Dolly Parton line. So, you know, my friend Jan Van, she loves Dolly Parton. Loves, love, loves. If there is a way for her to be president of all of Dolly's fan clubs, she would do it. Like 100%, no questions asked. And I'm guessing there would be like some kind of competition to even be able to join, you know? So Jen just really, really loves her, really respects Dolly, all the good things. I love me some Dolly Parton, okay? I love her. Anyway, so Jan loves her. And Dolly recently came out with some wine. She came out with a Chardonnay and some rosé. I love me a good rosé. I love a sparkling rosé. Anyway, so, you know, Jan doesn't really imbibe. So I was like, girl, I'll go ahead and taste it for you. Like, don't even trip. This is what friends do. All right. So it wasn't quite available yet, but like 2 days ago or so, Jan messages me and she's like, Johnny, the wine. And so I go look, and sure enough, it's now available in the US. What I didn't realize, and I'll realize this later on, is that only the Chardonnay is available in the US. I think it's like 2 different rosés. They are available in the UK. I didn't know this when I planned to go, you know, on my trek to find said beverage. So I go to yoga and everything this morning, and I was like, and after that, I'm going to go look for this wine. Now, last night, I actually Googled to see, you know, you can go to websites and you can put in your address or your zip code and find where you can purchase an item. So that's what I did. And I already knew that one of the big wine stores, I was like, they have to have it. Like, most likely they're gonna have it. Because it's like one of the big stores and they have everything. I was almost 100%, I'm 100% sure that they don't have it at my little across the street liquor store. It's not the vibe there. Listen, I love that little store, but it's not the vibe. I can't imagine that they would have Dolly's wine over there, just for various reasons, okay? Believe me on it. And then I forgot that there was another, like, bigger store. Definitely not like the store, the big one is like a warehouse size. But I forgot that there was another bigger one, like 3 miles from where I live. So I went to that one because it said that they had it, like both stores had it. Those were the closest. Like the other one is maybe 4 miles. So both of them are relatively almost equidistant, right? So I go, and I'm also going to go into the shade, is this it? Yeah, Gleaming, and that is a super chrome. And I'm using the same brush, I just wiped it off a bit. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go and look for the wine. So I let Jan know, on my way, gonna go get the wine, girl. So I get to the store and I'm like, I used the GPS, and I'm realizing, oh, I know this store. Like, G and I went there on our first date. It's a long story, okay, but it was fine. It was a long time ago at this point now. But yes, that is our liquor store. So, and in Maryland, I don't know if it's like this where you are, but there are only like standalone liquor stores. You can't go into a grocery store and pick up any sort of alcohol. It's very separate, which is different coming from California, right? Where you can go in 7-Eleven and get you like a big old thing of vodka if you wanted to. Anyway, so I go and this isn't a familiar store to me, like the one across the street is familiar to me. This one isn't familiar in terms of where everything is, but obviously you can see that there's like the like liquor, and then there's the wine and sparkling drinks and such on the other side. And then of course they have the displays. So I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be on a display because it's relatively new. It's very new as far as I know. And you know, sometimes they have the newer stuff kind of displayed. I'm like, I'm gonna just look for like a Dolly Parton, like you know, like a life size, like one of those cardboard cutouts. But they didn't have that, so I was like, okay. So I'm going up and down the aisles. I'm reading all of the labels, you know, and I'm like, where is it? Because I figure it's not going to be over there by the, like, wines from France or from España or New Zealand. It's not going to be over there, right? And it's also not going to be locked up in the more expensive, like, champagne cases. It's not going to be there. I'm like, Dolly probably giving us, like, a $15.99 Chardonnay, okay? Which is fine. Listen. Fine with me, girl. Now, for context, I love me a good champagne, a good sparkling rosé, a good prosecco. Who's at my front door? Let me see. It must have been some kind of delivery. Oh yeah, FedEx. Wonder where they're from FedEx. Oh, okay. All right. Jeez. Okay. So, you know, those are kind of my things. Chardonnay, not usually my jazz, but anything for a friend. So I cannot find it. I go up, it's like, I don't know, like 3 full aisles of like wines and stuff. Then I go, I'm like, maybe it is over by the French wine. It's not over there. And at this point, I'm looking for Chardonnay and I'm looking for rosé. Now I can't find anything, so I go to the cashier, and you know, they're there to help you. They know their stock, things like that. And so I was like, oh, excuse me, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but do you have the Dolly Parton wine? Like, one of my friends wants me to try it. And the guy's like, what? I'm like, Dolly Parton, the Dolly Parton wine. And he's like, Dolly? I'm like, yeah, you know Dolly Parton. She came out with a wine, and the thing said that y'all have it here in stock. So he turns to the young lady behind the counter, and he's like, do you know if we have Dolly wine? She's like, Dolly? I'm like, yes, like Dolly Parton. She came out with a wine. That's the thing. And I'm trying to buy it. So he goes ahead and he types in Dolly Parton. I'm going to go into this shade here. I think this is Empowered, and it is the Slick Chrome. And still using the same brush. Look at that. Boom. So, yeah. So she's like, Dolly. Like, everybody is acting like I am, like, not speaking any language that is part of the human race. Like, they're just looking at me like, what? And I'm like, y'all don't know Dolly Parton? Anyway, so then she gets on the, like, walkie-talkie thing that I guess maybe, you know, is just for employees, obviously. And she's like, can you check to see if we have the Dolly Parton wine? And I'm like, why y'all so loud? Like, why you so loud? Okay. I'm just wondering why you gotta be so loud about it. I'm not, like, I don't get embarrassed by a lot of things, but at this point, everybody is shouting, she want the Dolly Parton wine. Like, could you make it even more obvious that I'm getting, like, this probably fruity $15 bottle of wine? Leave me alone. So then this guy who's, like, carrying, I guess somebody wanted a case of beer or something. So he's carrying like a case of Corona or something. And homegirl is like, it's supposed to be Heineken. But the guy who wanted it, he's like, I'll take it if it's cold. There's just like so much happening. And I'm just standing in the corner wondering, do y'all have the Dolly wine, or do I need to go over to the other store? So the guy who was carrying the case, he's like, oh, what are you looking for? I'm like, Dolly Parton. He's like, Lolly. I'm like, no, Dolly. And he goes to the other cashier, Lolly. And I'm like, no. Like, what is happening? Why? I'm just, stop. So, I'm like, no, Dolly. So I pull out my phone and I show him, like, I'm like, this is Dolly Parton, and she has a wine. So I pulled up the website. I'm like, this is what it look like. Like, why y'all acting like that? So he goes and he just like disappears to look, I guess, and I'm just like standing there like la-di-da-di-da, like I'm gonna go give it another look. Like, I'm like, it says it on the like, where can you buy, it says it's on there, but then I'm like, maybe it's not, you know, sometimes you go and they're like, oh, actually we don't have it. So I'm just like, well, let me know so I can go to the other one or something. I gotta drink this wine for Jan. This kind of went further than I wanted it to. Clean that up a little bit. So finally the guy who was like Lolly, he finds it. I don't know where he found it, okay? I don't know where he got this bottle because I like went back to look for more stuff. And I didn't see none of her stuff. I don't know if this was the only bottle or if he found it somewhere. I don't even know because I couldn't find. When I went back to just peruse the aisles, I didn't see nothing by Dolly Parton. I don't know where this bottle came from, but I took it. So it's the Chardonnay. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, oh, what about the rosé? And he was like, oh, you want rosé? I'm like, not like regular rosé. I want the Dolly Parton one. And he was like, oh no, we don't have it. So I didn't I was like, well, I'm gonna go look. Like, I don't trust this man who works 24/7 in this store and knows his stock. But I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's here and he missed it because there's only one bottle of the Chardonnay. But I couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, what else? And I'm gonna show you the bottle, FYI. Here it is. Yes, I've been drinking it, okay? How about that? I'm a good friend. And then on the back, it just says, Parton Family Cellars. Like its namesake, Dolly Chardonnay resonates beyond the surface, magnifying the rare and gentle things. With her music and spirit, Dolly knows how to bring people together. Now with a glass of delicious Chardonnay made for you in this moment. Chardonnay, California. It's really pretty. And this picture of her is from when she was a bit younger. She's such a beautiful woman. So I've been drinking on it, and Chardonnay isn't like my thing really. It's very, to me, it's not like a wine that you drink to like just, it's very like, it's very like Wednesday night book club kind of drink. Like you're having a late lunch and you're gonna have like the Chilean sea bass and you just want a little something to go with it. Or it's like an after work little function and you know you're just holding your Chardonnay and talking to the people. Like I feel like that's what it's giving. So that's not like I'm like let me get a drink, right? So it's not like that. I'm not a connoisseur of Chardonnay, but I did do the whole, it smelled good. It smelled like wine. I don't know, wait. I don't know like the notes and stuff here. Like, smell it and tell me. But, so I looked up and the rosé is only in the UK. So if you're in the UK, be a good friend to Jan and go ahead and get it and let us know how it tastes. I was really, really looking forward to the rosé. Like I was, because I love me a good rosé. But the Chardonnay is fine. I mean, I'm not going to say, and I told this to Jan, I don't think it's anything that's like, oh my God, that's the brand you have to get. I don't feel like that. Again, I'm not like a Chardonnay expert, but to me, it's not anything that's like blowing my socks off. Like I'm just gonna chug this like it's sparkling water, but it's good. Like, I mean, I think if you like Chardonnay and you like Dolly Parton, why not just get her Chardonnay? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I finally got it and I mean, was relatively embarrassed for a moment because it's just like people are in there getting, you know, they're looking at like the whiskeys, the brandies, and I'm like, do you have the Dolly Parton wine? Don't worry, I will show my face again. So, I don't know if I'll buy it again. I mean, Chardonnay is just not my thing. I do hope that they bring the rosé because I'll definitely try that one out. And I just want to let you know that I am such a good friend, okay? I am taking one for the team. And I'm sitting here and I am drinking this Chardonnay because I'm a good friend and I value friendship. You're welcome, Jan. Okay, gonna put on like foundation and stuff, and then I'll come back and wrap it up. So here is the finished look. Bring you in a little bit closer. So this is all this new Lightwork, the volume 6. I'm really enjoying it, and I continue to think that it doesn't really crease. But again, I will be sure to wear it throughout the week probably, just to check. And I should have at least 2 days where I can actually take the stacks. So that'll be fun. I mean, gotta drive all the way to my office, but you know, yay. Anyways, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself, and I also hope that if any of you are in the UK, you are going to go purchase that Dolly Rosé. Just putting it out there. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you next time. Too much chardonnay.